So this next video is the application of the 100th monkey effect and the horrific nightmare that will ensue from it in Kalki-Time. Why? Well, Tim Refat has more than 100 vampires who have been using his science, technology, and of course, not my power, but the power of the American psychic warfare program. I've never, ever given any of my power to the vampires. They've always been psychically vampirizing the group, nation state, one world Jewish government that wanted to steal me. We showed in Kalki Part 6, the CIA set up Jeremiah Schwartz, a Jew, because Uri Geller proved incapable of doing anything. He promised he was going to win football games, European Championship for the British, and so they gave up on him. So this was a CIA plan. They knew, of course, from Sochivanov that you can power up anybody to the power level of the most powerful psychic, and that psychic can give that power away. Sochivanov, number one. Hating can take away the power of a psychic. So sticking him in an Elon Musk facility and torturing him, vivisecting him, cutting off his limbs, taking his eyes out, ears off, just making him a brain, being tortured by cyber Satan to break him, and when the brain eventually dies, downloading that into another brain and then eventually into a torture matrix at the omega point. And then Sochivanov, number 3, you can only be as powerful as the most powerful psychic, but you've broken the most powerful psychic, and you've got him in his matrix torture to give his power to the Jew, Jeremiah Schwartz, and the Jewish race. So, then it's all theirs. Unfortunately for them, thanks to the great Vladimir Putin, who looks after me in sunny Vietnam, as I look after him, this never came into being. And, of course, it's a zero-sum game. Which means, of course, that the entire West, because remember they're all hooked up to their nanotech, they're a gestalt, have to suffer my fate. So with the American psychic warfare program wanting to steal me, I've stole them, and they're in omega hell to power me with the entire population. And it's worse than that, because the one world Jewish government would have taken over the entire planet. So only those who fought against the one world Jewish government are free from being psychically vampirized, which of course top of the list must be Vladimir Putin. Second on the list must of course be the great Kim Jong-un. And of course I can't see Xi Jinping going quietly into the grave and having a Jew take over China, so you can see why they're protected by yours truly. Now, all of you vampires have been empowered not by me, but by the American psychic warfare program. And they spent multi-trillions on it because, of course, it's the only way to take over the planet and get the entire population worshipping their masters, the Rothschild Rockefeller royal family. and living in their 15-minute cities. And of course allowing the aliens to take over the planet when they've got nuclear weapons and could stop it in a thrice. So, with the advent of 100 vampires being made, so if I could get up to 100 vampire customers, we'd have game over, because we'd have the 100th monkey effect. Why? Because once we've got 100 vampires, that means that the entire population of the World Economic Forum, One World Jewish Government, are psychically vampirized by the 100 vampires. But worse still, this is the thing that's going to get the CIA and the Americans and the West into meltdown. They wanted to go further. They wanted to steal me and put all my power in a Jew. Jeremiah Schwartz. And as you see on YouTube, look up Psychic Warfare. Who's the world leader on Psychic Warfare? Tim Reefer, who had psychicwarfare.com, still has. Now it's behind the paywall thanks to the British and their neo-Stalinist state laws. My webmaster doesn't want to be carted off to jail for a second time. Thanks to the British. Can't blame him. I recommend he goes beaching and counts his money. That's why he's coming to Vietnam. So you can see that there's an IOU to pay. So the IOU is that when 100 enemies of the Jew use my technology, then it spreads across all of the enemies of the Jew, Jeremiah Schwartz and his ilk, and they can use the entire American psychic warfare program on the Jewish West and the One World Jewish Government. Now, of course, all of my research on psychicwarfare.com, which is now behind the paywall, and you can pay Mike $100 to read it if you want to, has been looked at by all the major military of the leading powers in the world. And it's no secret that Iran has a psychic warfare program. It was so far behind the Americans that the American psychic warfare program almost destroyed Iran in 2023 by using it to get the mass rioting that almost destroyed the Ayatollah's regime. Look at that in a second. But here's the Revolutionary Guard who would be running the Iranian psychic warfare program. This is how efficient the American psychic warfare program was until, of course, I destroyed it and now reversed it. We've not only destroyed it, but now, thanks to the Man City 2 wins, we can write, if you're Tim Reefer, IOUs. So Iran. Now, the Iranian psychic warfare program learned how to cause cancer to a target from my Hardcore Rumble videos, where I explain it in great detail and showed how it was easy to give Charles, who was desperate for me to be fitted up for drugs charges, fabricated of course via the Judases, Judas 1, 2, etc., 3 and 4 and 5, whatever. They keep breeding. Who got prostate cancer, and of course Lloyd Austin, who was running the satellites over Nha Trang to burn you alive, all launched by the imbecile Elon Musk. So in case you didn't believe that psychic warfare can be used to give anyone you fancy cancer, here of course is Charles, the imbecile that wanted me fitted up for drugs charges and taken over to Elon Musk's facility via Obama and Sunak, because the royal family lied and said they were the bloodline of Lucifer, when of course they are simply the excrement of Lucifer, and their only purpose is to suffer in Omega Hell, tortured by Lucifer, to power me. The royal family aren't fit to lick my arse, let alone contest my power. And of course, by their work shall we know them. Who has got terminal cancer? Oh, Charlesy boy, who promised the Rothschild royal family, Rockefellers, that cursed Turk would be dealt with. And of course we've got Lloyd Austin, the Defense Secretary of the filth that ran America, promising I'd be Havana syndromed by the Elon Musk satellites that they spent, well, hundreds of billions on, no, trillions. To get rid of yours truly, who's top of the American target list, because he's protecting Vladimir Putin from psychic warfare, healed Vladimir Putin from psychic warfare, protected Kim Il-sung from psychic warfare, healed Kim Jong-un from psychic warfare, protected Xi Jinping from psychic warfare, healed Xi Jinping from psychic warfare. You see now I'm top of the list. And you see now why psychic warfare is the only game in town, apart from using a full-scale nuclear exchange, which doesn't benefit the Rothschild, Rockefeller, royal family and the aliens that they've given the planet over to, who are desperately trying to shut down the US and UK nuclear missiles, which we talked about before, because of the hidden Iranian suitcase nukes. So we can see there's a track record of prostate cancer. This, of course, Lloyd Austin and Charles being targeted by yours truly, and how to do it is on my Rumble channel, because it's not YouTube friendly. But Netanyahu has suddenly developed prostate cancer, and I can fully attest that I did not give Netanyahu prostate cancer. Why? Because he's kicking the shit out of the Satanist version of Islamists, the Shias, and destroy the Alawites, who are having to run to the Lebanon as they're pursued by the mad Muslims in Syria, who want to give them a very close haircut. Sorry, neck cut. Now, if I did not give Benjamin Netanyahu prostate cancer, which is going to kill him very, very soon, he's got a very bad form of it. The Charles form, or the, well, Lloyd Austin form. And if you don't believe how you can cause cancer to a target, simply go on my Rumble hardcore channel and I explain in great detail how you give cancer using remote influencing to anyone you damn well please. Now, this is the fault of the CIA. The CIA are totally to blame for Netanyahu being struck down in the prime of his life. Why? Well, because they came up with a cunning plan of Jeremiah Schwartz. We're going to use Sochivanov 1 to give all the powers of the tortured Tim Rifat to our Jew puppet alter, who of course is fully linked up to Cyber Satan AI. We're going to use Jeremiah Schwartz to sow hate Tim Rifat because he's a Jew and he hates Muslims, that he gets rid of his power, and you're going to use Sochivanov number 3 to power Jeremiah Schwartz and his ilk up to the power level of Tim Rifat, who'll, of his own free will, give all his power to Jeremiah Schwartz as he's tortured mercilessly, vivisected in the Elon Musk torture facility. And of course it's a done deal. Fit them up, MI5 with the Judases for drug charges, ship him with the Espionage Act with Obama. Made him deal with Sunak, who of course gave up his government. Wonder why. And of course Obama are now being linked with Diddy as a paedophile, allegedly, but we talked about that, and his transgender wife, Michael, aka Michelle. That didn't end well. Now, of course, this didn't work out because, remember, the girlfriend has Jeremiah Schwartz's energy powered by her. She gives her energy to Jeremiah Schwartz because every time she has sex with him, her energy's sucked out. But this is the kicker. When she hates him and disses him, says he's just a plagiarist, nasty, evil piece of filth, her energy's in him, and she's doing Sochivanov number 2 to disempower his psychic powers. More importantly, disempower all the American psychic warfare program powers for the people that try and use it, the Jews. Jeremiah Schwartz is so she's the Trojan horse that's gone bang, and that video should be broadcast to the Iranian psychic warfare program operators who are using psychic warfare to copy Tim Rifat and create mayhem in the West. Now, back to the Iranians. Because of Jeremiah Schwartz wanting to steal me and lose him, that meant the enemies of the Jews got the IOU. It's just simple zero-sum game. So all of the enemies of the Jews simply got what Jeremiah Schwartz wanted from me, have been powered up and put in the place that Jeremiah Schwartz would have been put with his ilk if I'd been in the Elon Musk torture facility. So now the Iranian psychic warfare program, thanks to the CIA, has the power of Tim Rifat. Now, thanks to the 100th monkey effect. What does that mean? Well, there were 100 Jeremiah Schwartz and his ilk trying to steal my power. There's more than 100 in the CIA. There's more than 100 in their program. So that meant that this meme, which would go to Jews to use my power to conquer the world using my power, using psychic warfare, everyone would have laid down their arms like the Syrian army and just given up. This has gone zero-sum game to their enemies. Can now use, thanks to this process, the American psychic warfare program and the Tim Refat power level to do anything they damn well please to anything Jewish, which of course is the entire West America, Europe, Rothschild, Royal Family, Rockefellers. And the first victim of this reprehensible, failed ploy, Jeremiah Schwartz and his ilk, to steal my power for the Jews, is Netanyahu. And it didn't take long for the Iranians to cotton on, well, we can give cancer to a target, and we've got the filter of Charles or Lloyd Austin, as we've explained, the quantum wave function filter, where the quantum wave function collapse is filtered so it only produces one thing, prostate cancer in this case, which we explained in the past videos, and will continue in future videos. They've used this to give poor Benjamin Netanyahu prostate cancer, all done by the Iranian psychic warfare program, powered by the American psychic warfare program. So basically the entire American psychic warfare program has been taken over, a la Lucifer with Angel Heart, by the Iranian psychic warfare program, because I can't see the Turkish wanting to give Netanyahu prostate cancer or do him in, because of course the Turks are now going to wipe out the Kurds in Syria and they go into Iraq, which is what Erdogan wanted to do. And Erdogan, of course, has been ill because the Iranians have been targeting him for kicking them out of Syria. So dear old Erdogan's been a bit unwell, but unfortunately Benjamin Netanyahu is going to be dying from cancer thanks to the Iranian psychic warfare program, powered by the American psychic warfare program, enabled by the CIA that tried to steal Tim Refat's power for Jeremiah Schwartz, their altar. And because of the zero-sum game loss, finalised by the woman he was having sex with, who dumped her hatred into him and the American psychic warfare program to totally siphon off them number 2. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And of course women face chaos, so the entire American psychic warfare program has been dumped into chaos down the twisted grail state into Omega Hell, all of their souls ripped out, Omega Hellized, including Taylor Swift, who is now screaming in Omega Hell, and there's just a shell walking around, ready to marry Travis Kelce now, Chad and Preston. The Iranians have been uplifted, and all enemies of the Jew and the Jewish one world government have been uplifted, which of course includes the Russian psychic warfare program, the Chinese psychic warfare program. Remember, the Chinese went around collecting all psychic children at the age of 5, and they have a huge psychic warfare program. And the North Koreans that have a massive psychic warfare program. I don't know why. It could be due to Tim Refat. So Netanyahu has been struck down by the Iranian psychic warfare program using all the information I gave on how to cause cancer on my Rumble Hardcore channel. And of course they've been fully charged up by the American psychic warfare program because it's zero-sum game. Jews wanted to steal my power, so the enemies of Jews get my power. And of course my power is not used, but the American Psychic Warfare Program, fronted by Jeremiah Schwartz, provides the power. They can't get up to my power level, so of course we need Lucifer to cart them off to Omega Hell, to torture them up to Omega level and beyond the torture level, source level, to provide the power. So you can see the unintended consequences. Which means, of course, Taylor Swift has been fully sourced, but to suffer eternally at source power levels with Travis Kelce, because Travis Kelce is full of Taylor Swift energy, because they've been having sex and of course living together, and of course the Super Bowl, which is fixed so the Kansas City Chiefs win again and Taylor Swift can announce her engagement, marriage, having babies to the idiot jock gold digger Travis Kelce, is going to be powering the Iranian Psychic Warfare Program. All powered by the American idiots that worship NFL. So we've got the next thing the American Psychic Warfare Program is being used for by the Iranians. Which is to get rid of the Jewish American puppet, General al-Sisi, who took over from Morsi, the Muslim Brotherhood, run by the Turks. So I can see that at the end of the Jewish occupation via American money of Egypt is going to occur, because the American Psychic Warfare Program, now taken over by the Iranians, is going to bring down General Sisi, the puppet dictator for the Jews of Egypt, which of course is the main enemy of Israel. Sisi's remark warned of implications of a popular uprising, revolution, or even the emergence of political activism aimed at instigating regime change. Now, of course, thanks to the CIA and their cunning, baldric Jeremiah Schwartz plan to steal all my power by force, Egypt's gone. If you don't believe me, watch the news. So the next puppet of the Jews, run by the British in this case, is the King of Jordan. He'll be taken out by the vast Palestinian refugee population. He'll bring down this puppet of the Jewish West, thanks to the Iranian Psychic Warfare Program. Don't believe me? Watch the news in the future. Already people are warning of the peril of this British-run puppet. Now, if you're Donald Trump, you're now being targeted by Iranian psychic warfare, powered by the American Psychic Warfare Program. And unlike Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, or Kim Jong-un, who are protected and have been healed of the American Psychic Warfare Program by yours truly, your only future is to be looking forward to Netanyahu's, Charles's, Lloyd Austin's prostate cancer. Why? Because you simply, as we explained, can collapse the quantum wave function through the lens of Death Goat Jew. So Trump will not complete his full term as president, because he'll be killed by Iranian psychic warfare program, powered by the American Psychic Warfare Program, thanks to Jeremiah Schwartz and his ilk, the CIA's program gone terribly bad. But in the case of the CIA, they want Trump dead, so I don't think they'll be too upset about this. So if you're a member of the Congress, you're all going to die from Iranian psychic warfare, because whatever the Americans do to boost their psychic warfare program. And since the entire Congress is run by the Jewish lobby, apart from Mathis, you're all going to come to a sticky end. So, we've been talking about, since last week, the effects of Tim Rifaat on the World Economic Forum, One World Jewish Government, and the World Economic Forum puppet of Canada, since last week, has been sacrificed, resigned.
Trudeau has become the latest high-profile globalist stooge to be sacrificed, as public fury towards the global elite reaches a tipping point. Behind the scenes, powerful forces forced Trudeau into resignation, citing the ongoing investigation into alleged crimes against children and his role as a puppet for a shadowy network of elites. Despite the political theatre of his tearful resignation speech, this is only the beginning for Justin Trudeau. For years, he's been controlled by compromising material held over him. Now, the real question is, can he strike a deal with his handlers and maintain his freedom? Or will he spend the rest of his life fighting criminal charges and facing time behind bars? Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community if you haven't already, and sign up to become a member of the world's first ever cyber nation that truly believes in life, liberty, and the pursuit of your dreams. Visit joson.com and click the Join Us button today. It's completely free. Trudeau survived countless scandals in his political career, but this time there was no covering it up. The tide has turned, the truth is being laid bare, and it's about to expose the system of elite paedophilia practiced by the global elites. Reporting by the People's Voice and a select few other independent news outlets finally broke the damn wall, leading to a massive outpouring of damning evidence linking Trudeau to historical child sex crimes. The people of Canada have woken up to the truth. They know their Prime Minister is a puppet, controlled by blackmail. Before Trudeau's resignation announcement on Monday, the Liberal Party's approval rating had plummeted to an all-time historic low of just 16%.
So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
Trudeau mentioned internal battles, but that barely scratches the surface of what he's actually facing. Trudeau thinks he can escape his fate by running and hiding from the people, but resigning is not enough. Anything short of Justin Trudeau being arrested and tried before a court of law is a failure, because this man is a terrorist against his own people. He made countless good and innocent people suffer deeply, psychologically, physically, and financially. He destroyed livelihoods, stole incomes, harassed his own citizens, and devastated small businesses. He locked people in their homes, silenced dissenters, froze the bank accounts of protesters, and criminalised freedom of expression. He harmed children through unnecessary school closures, forced compliance with harmful mandates, and supported the chemical and physical castration of children under the guise of gender ideology. He imported terrorists, neglected public safety, divided families, eroded trust in institutions, and stripped away freedoms that generations fought to protect. You name it, he did it. All while promising sunny ways, playing dress-ups, and masquerading as a champion of equality and progress. In reality, he was an authoritarian tyrant just like his father Fidel Castro, determined to crush dissent, impoverish the nation, and eliminate personal freedom.
So, since last week, we've got rid of the World Economic Forum puppet, Trudeau, a paedophile, allegedly, of the worst ilk, who's destroyed Canada and made it such a basket case that Donald Trump is now thinking of invading and taking over Canada. And of course, Donald Trump's an enemy of the World Economic Forum. Why? Because putting people in 15-minute cities, getting rid of most of the population, is going to destroy Trump's bottom line, because he's into luxury lifestyles, and they'll be outlawed in 15-minute cities, and the only rich people being the Rothschild Rockefellers, who wanted to stick him in jail. Now, looking at these lenses through which you collapse the quantum wave function, which we talked about, in this case using the Charles Lloyd Austin looking glass to collapse the quantum wave function, powered by the American psychic warfare program to give Netanyahu cancer. We go back to the one I was talking about, William Rothschild, who was burnt alive, and I told you I was now collapsing the quantum wave function to produce that reality for all of chaos. And the inception point for this, of course, is now happening as we speak.
And before we get into what's going on here, I want to state that I am okay. A lot of people have been asking me to check in, and I am currently fine, but the fire has gotten very close and it's very destructive. Again, you guys have probably heard about this on the news right now, but I've never lived so close to a fire before, and there are so many people living in this area that is affected. Now, looking at reports and from what I've seen around, it seems like a lot of the fire was really picking up in the Palisades, which is where a lot of celebrities live. It's closer to Santa Monica and the ocean, but a fire started to pop up in West Hollywood, and then yesterday it really started to pick up at night.
The red flag warnings have been extended now as 4 fires continue to burn across LA County.
The Sunset Fire is the smallest after it forced evacuations in the Hollywood Hills last night. The first fire in Sylmar has burned over 800 acres. And then we have the
sponsored by William Rothschild, the Rothschilds,
which has destroyed more than 900 structures.
Now I'll just give you guys like a little bit of a timeline of like what I noticed, because I was at the gym. Well, actually, first off, I noticed it was really smoky. And then I went to the gym, and as I was working out, there was talks about Sunset being shut down. The gym I go to is off Sunset, not too far from where the first fire was. And there was a fire actually right behind a RuPaul billboard, like a RuPaul's Drag Race billboard, and there was a fire. They were talking about this hotel being on fire, and I'll try to put up some pictures, but essentially this shut down West Hollywood and Hollywood. And at first, this was kind of like the start of a fire, the first fire I'd heard of, and it seems like we were okay until late last night. There was a fire that started at Runyon. Now, this is typically what Runyon looks like. It's a popular hike right in the middle of Hollywood, and I go there several times a month, and I love going on this hike, but I don't know if I'll be able to go anymore, because look at what we're working with. It was ablaze last night, and it was super scary. Actually, one of my friends, Sebastian Soto, he had to evacuate. I was probably about...
Here we've got LA, where William Rothschild lived, now manifesting William Rothschildville, which is the burning down of all the rich parts of LA, all the A-listers losing their homes, which of course is real good news, because the only good A-lister is a William Rothschild A-lister. Now this of course is great. It's called sympathetic magic, in that if you want to kill someone, you have the voodoo doll, the poppet, which we call in cultism, stick the pins in and the person dies. So, destroying America, burning it down. William Rothschild is the lens through which the quantum wave function is collapsed in the future, because I'm the Kwisatz Haderach. No one can beat me. The CIA have proved this by kicking Taylor Swift, the retard, out to pasture with her imbecile jock Travis Kelce to have Chad Preston, so she's not fit for purpose for the American psychic warfare program. They had to have me, they failed, And now, of course, we talked last week about doing it, and it's happening. And it's all to do with sympathetic magic, burning down William Rothschild. All the Americans worship William Rothschild. Rothschilds control the West via Jacob Rothschild, killed by yours truly. Serena Rothschild, killed by yours truly. All the Rothschilds, soon to be killed by yours truly, powered by Lucifer. Anyone who wants to sponsor me for being Lucifer's master, any corporate sponsorship, our company's powered by Lucifer, because Tim Riefat says so. Make sure the amount's above the Pfizer ad boy, Travis Kelce. And I'll think about it. So, this is sympathetic magic. So one can see that the end of America happened with the LA fires. Initiate with William Rothschild and then do the magic spell. So the magic spell to burn America to the ground has happened, or is happening as we speak. Now, of course, Tim Riefat doesn't want to get his hands dirty getting rid of low-life garbage as Kalki, so he outsources, and in this case, we've outsourced to Iran, who are using the American psychic warfare program to destroy America. How could they do this? Well, we've explained. They've got numerous suitcase nukes in America due to the porous borders, and they simply need 100 EV batteries, or a huge, large Tesla dealership, or the gigafactories in Nevada or Texas, and detonate a suitcase nuke, and that's the end of not only of America, if it's in a dealership, but if they get the gigafactories, the end of the West, which we explained in depth, which of course explains why we've got the LA burning for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Kamala Land, land of the dead.